Welcome to the DJ Insider Podcast, sponsored by Amplified Events.
It's the only podcast where we break down insider information from our weddings, experiences, and advice from over 15 years in the wedding industry.
We're your hosts. I'm Mike Kane, owner of Amplified Events.
And I'm Chris Zart, general manager of Amplified Events.
Let's get into it.
We back.
We here.
In the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last week you missed it. I had Allison on from Your Little Details, and she was fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, she gives a good a podcast. So it was great. We just talked shop and talked about a wedding we worked on, and just all fun things. But so then we missed, you and I didn't meet last week, so we missed kind of 2 weeks. Tell me about your 2 weeks ago wedding.
Yeah, so I was at Journeyman in Valpo and Allure on the Lake. And yeah, first one was Allure on the Lake, and did a wedding outside there, which I have not done in a while, but it was like the most perfect weather. Like, it was just absolutely gorgeous. We're just kind of like entering fall, so it was really cozy out there, but went inside. I really like this couple a lot. The groom is in like a Chicago punk band. So like everyone that was there was kind of like, they're like all in bands and stuff and all know each other.
Crushing hard.
Yeah.
The couple.
Oh, totally.
They're so cool. He's in a band.
I was really obsessed. Well, and it was a lot of the music that I've like listened to growing up, and I just really related with that. And it was just cool. And yeah, he told me like his best man, or one of the groomsmen was the drummer. So he told me the band name, and I was like listening to it during cocktail hour. But yeah, they're really good.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it was just a really fun wedding. Honestly, most of the weddings that I do with like more of an artsier crowd or like a punk crowd, I've done weddings like this. Sometimes dance floors kind of back and forth because people just want to like more so mingle. Mm-hmm. And that was almost kind of the vibe that I was getting like going into the wedding. And it was just like a killer dance floor the whole night. Especially like hitting some like pop punk at the end of the night. I think everyone loved. But yeah, no, it was just a really good time. And then Journeyman in Valpo on Saturday. It was also a great day. Luckily, ceremony inside because it got way hotter that day. It was like randomly 80 in like the end of September. But yeah, really nice time. That was like, I've been in that room before, and the wedding I did a few weeks ago, they kind of told me like not a huge dancing crowd, which was kind of the vibe. And they have a huge patio section, which is awesome. And I'm almost wondering if we can do a dance floor out there one day. But didn't really lose too many people out there. Got a lot of people on the dance floor most of the night, and it was just a fun time. And then, your weekend though, before I get into this past one, did you just have?
I had 3.
That's right. Yeah.
2 weeks ago I had 3, and then this past weekend I just had 1. So yeah, it was Friday. We were at Journeyman in 3 Oaks.
Nice. Great
couple, super fun, great dance floor. We had this incessant guy who was like, I want to sing karaoke. And we're like, that is not going to happen. And he's like, Taylor Swift? He just kept thinking that if he got the right song,
yeah,
he's like, come on, I'm going to sing some Queen. Or come on, like Kanye West. And we're like, no. Nope. I just kept saying no. I go, if it's your wedding, I'd be glad to do it. If it's your wedding, you want karaoke, you got it, buddy. Not your wedding. You're not even in the bridal party. You're just a guest, and you want to just take over the night and sing and make a show of you. He was hammered drunk, and he was not taking no. He came up 6 times to request, and he's like, and he would like run up like it was like an emergency. Guys, real quick, Taylor Swift, give me the mic. I was like, no, we are not going to do that.
Not even like asking, like, this is like, this needs to happen.
It was just like, please hand me that seatbelt, like break in case of emergency, the fire extinguisher. Like there was a fire on the dance floor that just like needed his singing, Stop. I was like, we are not going to do that. And he just was like, but what about this song? We're like, no. And I kept expecting him to get aggressive, but he kept saying, and one time he goes, I'm not going to like forget, right? Like I'm not stupid. I'm drunk, but I'm not stupid. I was like, okay, good. I was like, so you understand that we're being polite to you. You're requesting something outrageous and we're being polite, Good. I'm glad you get it. I'm glad you think we're treating you like a child, and we are because you're being ridiculous. I'm not going to forget. Oh, good. I didn't think
I'm glad you're here with us right now.
I didn't think you would. Good. I love the person who has that level of like lucidity.
Right.
Like, I think that you think I'm drunker than I am, and you're trying to trick me. And I'm like, oh no, I know you are drunk as I think you are, and I'm being polite. And
There's no tricks here.
yeah,
We're just saying no.
But I'm glad to know we can drop the curtain and drop the show, the charade. And I can just tell you no straight away, not going to happen. And the greatest part is he goes up to the bride and I see them going. She goes out, no, absolutely. So then he comes back up again and I go, I tell you what, man, if the bride says you can, then you can, And Jeff's like, why'd you do that? I'm like, because I just saw her tell him no. And he's not going to go up and ask again. But yeah, normally I don't
put him in that position.
Normally I don't sick the people on the drunk guests on the couple. But I was like, I already knew that was a dead end, so he would just leave us alone.
That's like I've had couples guests in the past that they're like, blah blah blah. Can I play the song? And I'm like, no. And then sometimes I explain why of like, hey, this is what's going on now, or I'm sticking to the bride and groom's list or whatever. But then they're like, well, I'll go talk to them and convince them because sometimes I'll be like,
I'm going over your head, guy.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's like let's just say like Cha-Cha slides on the do not playlist, they ask that. Sometimes I'll even say, I'm like, that's actually on the couple's do not play. They do not want line dances, so I'm not even going to do anything like that song. So then they're like, oh, I'm going to go talk to the couple. And then I'm like, whoa, wait. And there's times where I've explained, I'm like, do you really want to bother them right now?
Yeah.
Like about this one song?
Yes. The answer is yes.
It's been yes.
It's about
time.
me.
Yeah.
Nah.
And they're like, yeah, I'll go ask.
Do you want to do a selfish thing or do you want to just make it take the hit? Nah, I'm going to do the selfish thing.
I always hope every time that me explaining will I'll get through. I feel like there's times where I have and they're like, well,
most people can't be reasoned with. If they can, then they'll take the first answer as,
right.
Reasonable people don't persist.
I'll talk them into it.
Yeah, come on. It's me we're talking about.
Uncle Jerry.
And it's what I want. They're going to want me to sing a few songs. It's their wedding.
Yes.
I'm just a random dude.
They didn't bring that up in the meeting whatsoever, but you're right. This must be some secret.
They're going to want me to really put on a show for them.
Yes.
And what's so funny to me is like, I bet you if we did allow him, he would have been terrible. Mm-hmm. But how good would it have been if he was amazing? And I literally,
missed opportunity.
And that it just changed the course of history. People were inspired to
well, you ruined the
cure
wedding,
cancer. Yeah. Just, I stopped something that, Doc Brown comes, you got to let him sing. Marty.
Throw off the whole timeline.
It's the kids, Marty. So it creates a nexus point because I didn't let that guy sing at the wedding that one time.
Did he eventually let it go though?
He did. He did. It took way too long. I mean, 6 times. I mean, it took us telling no 6 times.
Right.
First 2 were very polite. After he's like, I'm not going to forget. Then I was like, okay, we're just not going to be polite anymore. Like I wasn't mean, but I was like, I didn't treat you. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna. We're gonna drop
passive. Now we're going to a service.
I'm gonna drop the subtlety about being polite and thinking that you're too drunk to remember.
Right.
So that was fun. It was a really good dance floor. We got tipped. A great couple. Great lot of fun. Saturday was at 4 Seasons in Chicago. Absolutely beautiful. Just gorgeous couple. Super beautiful wedding. Great dance floor. Great crowd. We did have one of our uplights got stolen.
Yeah, and I did recently too.
So weird. So why stop taking things, guys? Stop taking our things.
It's hilarious too because it makes me.
I know they're cool. I bought them because they're cool
work by themselves. That's the funny thing.
You're gonna need a remote. You're gonna need a power cable, which you have neither of those. So.
Right.
Yeah, but people steal our lights, thinking, and maybe they can figure it out. But so yeah, that's fun. Everything else went really good. Gorgeous venue. We had the Lakeview Ballroom. You can literally see Lake Michigan. It was just absolutely phenomenal. Outstanding staff. Worked with Charlene from Sweet Chic Events. And she is just one of these vendors who is just so organized, so professional, so on it. She had like a ceremony, like detailed every moment, like print off for me of like when the cues were, what was happening, what was being said. And I go, Charlene, like, I have to give you a compliment. Like, you make me want to be a better vendor. like you are just so on your game and far and above what I usually do and what I can do that you make me want to be better. And so she's like, thanks. So.
Oh, we worked with her at Sofitel last year. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah, she was fantastic. And I worked with her last fall too, over at it's a country club. Can't think of it. Great couple though as well.
That's. That kind of job, being like a coordinator, planner, whatever you want to call it, it's such a hard balance of like being the organized type, but also staying chill enough.
Yeah.
Like you got to make sure things are staying on time. But yeah, like the best planners I've worked with, they're like, I feel so relaxed around them, but I know they like have it all under control.
Yeah. I talked to Allison about that your theory that like DJs were all ego, but we could do with a little more organization. you know? And like, we're like the fun guys, but you should be more organized and have a plan. And then like planners are so organized, but you should be more fun and enjoy your, you know, and keep things light.
We just need to hang out with planners.
But
more.
I said,
Bounce
Allison,
each other
you're
out.
one of those that you keep things light, but you're organized,
Right.
you know? So yeah, so it's that. And then Sunday we were at the Wooded Knot, Tippecanoe, Indiana. Really beautiful venue, cool staff, chill. I mean, it was a really good dance floor for being a Sunday. I had the father of the bride correct me on how to say the groom's name. I said Devian, and it's Devion. Like it's such a small. But he interrupted my intros to correct me.
Oh, like while you were
I was doing intros, and he
intros.
comes up, it's Devion. I was like,
man.
okay. I was like, because I've said it that way to him on the phone many times, and he didn't correct me. And I've said it all throughout the night. And when I saw him, hey, Devian, what's up? Let's get you mic'd up. Never corrected me once, but the father bride needed to come up and correct me after I'd already said it.
That's hard too, because out of like any part of the night, that's the part that we're really like, you kind of enter like a different part of your brain.
Yeah.
You know, you're really focused, you're trying to be energetic. And when someone's like, hey, and they're trying like talking to you when you're in the middle of that, it's so like, what are you?
He made it sound like I said a completely different name. It was a slight subtlety variation in the accent on the O. Like, I was just like, are you serious, guy? Like, they know I'm not best friends with them. Like, you know? You know? So it was fine. He was nice. Of course, when we're like loading up, he's like, you know, yeah, I used to DJ. I was like, oh, fantastic. I would love to hear all about that while I'm loading up for the night. So. Other than that, everyone was super nice. It was super fun. It was a good wedding. We had Mason was doing some planning there, and then she also did some shooting for us.
Nice.
So it was good little night. And then this past weekend. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I was at Fair Oaks, which was fun. I haven't been there at all this year, but I've worked there a decent amount of times. I really like the venue. It's a really nice space. They kind of like right out the back is the ceremony location outside, and then everyone kind of comes back inside. But we did cocktail like outside and inside. Unfortunately, it was like no rain the entire day, like whatsoever. And then right when ceremony is about to start, it's like barely drizzling. Like, I mean, like you could sit in the rain for probably like 10 minutes and you're like not even really going to get that wet, but everyone's like refusing to sit down. So I'm on the mic. Hey, everyone, like, please,
Get
like,
your butts wet.
and then people start doing it, and then I get everyone seated, and then, you know, the planner came out of nowhere. She's like, what are you doing? She's like, don't get people seated. I'm like, we're starting in 1 minute with ceremony. Like, it was 3:59. We're going to start at 4. And then she's just like, the couple, they want to delay things 15 minutes now to wait for the rain to stop. So we waited 15 minutes, and then it started raining harder. So if we would have just started then, it was barely raining.
Fine.
And it was a 15-minute ceremony about. We could have made it through the whole thing. But of course, so then, you know, we're 10 minutes into the ceremony, and like a third of the people like get up and go under the awning, which was like, I think they should have just powered through. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
I moved my speaker like to be covered and everything.
Sure.
But it was just a funny thing. I was like, what? Let's just stay on schedule. It's barely raining. We're totally fine. I understood they're like, it was, you know, radar was really clear. So they're like, maybe we'll wait 10 minutes. It'll blow over. But of course, you know, it got a little bit worse.
The panic that some people have is insane because you make an announcement and they act like there's no way it can be undone now.
Right. I just got
They
back in the
run
mic.
up. What are you doing? You made an announcement? That's like your job? And then you're like, you know, I could also just say, hey, we decided to wait 15 minutes. Everyone can head inside.
Right.
Stay dry.
And I played
That would have been
slow.
the easiest thing in the world to undo.
Absolutely.
But they act like,
Only
like,
reason
they're
why I
gonna
did
tackle
that,
you.
it was, we were 5 minutes away from start time. I didn't see the coordinator anywhere. I was looking around for her. I just made a judgment call.
That's
you know,
right.
I was like,
Yeah.
we got to get started. No one was sitting down, like literally nobody.
Guest seat
But
time.
I got back on the mic. I was like, hey, we're going to delay things 10, 15 minutes. You guys can go back. Everyone went back up. No big deal.
It's almost
totally fine.
It's almost like you could get on the mic and contradict yourself.
Right.
Or make another announcement because you have more information.
Hey guys, that's really funny that
Yeah.
you thought I said go out
I
there.
lied.
I lied. That's what I should have said. Yeah.
I tricked you. We're delaying it now.
But no, it was totally fine. Great dance floor. Like, I mean, full from the start to the end of the night. Just really great time. Introductions were more detailed that I've done in a moment. I feel I've mentioned this before, but these past 2 years, I don't know what it is. I feel like more couples I'm working with are becoming a little more introverted. They don't want, not even that, the bridal party. They don't want the spotlight totally on them.
I love just saying the bridal party.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of like the bridesmaids as one group, the groomsmen as one group. They each have their own song.
That's even better.
They get to walk out together. But This was kind of more when I started the job, that this wedding was, they wanted for each couple their own individual song with like timing and everything, but it was awesome. Like they went all in. I've done this before.
Sometimes they make a competition.
I mean, everyone had their own thing. It only sucked because like if I had an assistant with me, I'd have them mix the music. I'd be on the mic. I couldn't really watch as much, but all their stuff was great. And I wanted to like look up, but I was mixing and on the mic, but that was fun. They killed it. And then, like I said, dance floor was awesome. I did like a last minute edit of, there was this song that the groom really loved. And he was like on the dance floor a lot. And I didn't know if he was going to be, because he said he was kind of in between on dancing, but he's like, this is the one song I want. This is it. But then the day of the wedding, he's like, you know that song I mentioned? Could you edit this like wrestling interview clip? Like 15 seconds. Like he's like talking and then he's like, boom, the song drops. And I was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. And then I just like, 1 hour later, I cranked it out. We're like 30 minutes left of the dance floor, and we're kind of like in that rock, like country hits.
He beat me fair and square.
Along. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. I can't remember the line exactly or the wrestler's name. This was like 80s WWE, I think, something like that. But because he was like, "Did you get it?" And I'm like, and then I hit it, and then he's on the dance floor, and I think that kind of made his night. But that was just a cool moment.
Yeah,
very cool couple. Just a really fun time. I'm excited to go back to Fair Oaks. But what about you?
Fair Oaks.
Just one or?
Just one. I was at Dunes Pavilion.
Oh, nice.
We're on the roof for the ceremony. So it was outdoors, a lot of wind, a lot of waves. So
I haven't done that yet.
Kind of loud, but everything was fine. Really great job by the officiant, Aussie guy Brody. It's fantastic. Hear vows clearly. Everything works out. Beautiful.
You said Aussie?
Aussie,
yeah. I love the accent, dude.
Yeah. And his only song he wanted was Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus, and he like lost it when I played it. And then he was like, "Can I have the mic?" I was like, "Okay, yeah, you can." But that guy last week, absolutely not. Her name is Well. He went nuts. And but it was an absolute rage. Dance floor, people going nuts, going crazy. Cool couple. We did the whole gambit. We had the monogram on the photo booth, op lights, dance floor. Working with Dave Segrist. He did great. I had him do most of the mixes.
Oh, sweet.
On Friday, when I had that Friday with Jeff at the Journeyman, we didn't start with a slow song.
Is this 2 weeks ago you're talking about?
Yeah, on Journeyman.
Oh, at Three Oaks, yeah.
Yeah, first song. I was like, first song. He goes, "I want to dance with somebody." Whitney Houston. I go, "What? What? You just threw out the rule book? You're just like going rogue?" So we did it, and it actually worked. People kind of went nuts, and then he did Dancing Queen and did all the good stuff. But so I thought slow song or nah. Like,
do you usually start with a slow song?
I almost always start with a slow song.
I never do.
I'm a traditional, somewhat of a traditional DJ that like, I know some of these olds want to dance and fall in love. And also I know people usually aren't ready to go like put the pedal to the floor on dancing.
Right.
Like you need to kind of warm up into it. And so softly swaying because you're in love is a good way to do that. But yeah, so slow song or nah is my question.
I think no.
Nah.
I
you
like,
say nah?
Because I think that, I do start with more like classics, definitely. Like I want to get the older crowd out there, but I think I like starting with higher energy. And I usually kind of dial back after 3 or 4 songs. Maybe I won't do like necessarily like a super slow song, but like some Temptations, something like that, where it's like you can still like move to it and it's nice and like groovy and soulful, but it's not like totally like stagnant slow. But
ideally it's a sing along, but like a slow song sing along kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel like Dancing Queen is like my starter song for most weddings. That song has been coming in so hot this past like year or two. ABBA's coming back, and they're making a Mamma Mia 3. I don't know if you heard about that, but
wait, did the woman get even more estranged from her fathers?
I don't know.
Isn't that the story? Is like she doesn't know who her dad is, so they secretly invite under false pretenses the 3 different guys to figure out which one is her actual dad.
Yeah, but then the second movie is Meryl Streep's character, but it goes back in time to like when she like gets to Greece for the first time and like has her baby, who's Amanda Seyfried's character.
Cool.
But it's like her whole story, and then also meeting all of the dads.
Gotcha.
And like her story of like how they met.
And do they have even more ABBA?
Of course, yeah. No, this one's actually not a musical. they went.
It's gritty. It's very gritty.
It's like a psychological thriller.
Mamma Mia, but gritty. It's a throwback.
But Mamma Mia 3.
Mamma Mia prequel.
Don't know what's going to be about.
It's a slasher film.
We're going a prequel of a prequel.
The Mamma Mia. Revenge of Mia.
Yeah, ABBA's been coming back. Yeah, honestly, a lot this year. I've done like not even that song, but like Gimme Gimme a Man After Midnight has been a huge hit. A lot of those songs, which I love. I love ABBA. But yeah, I think high energy at the start. That's just how I usually do it. But I'm not saying that's every wedding. Like sometimes a lot of weddings we do the anniversary dance. That's a great like, icebreaker and a little bit slower. So I don't know. You are kind of making me think about it now though.
I mean, so I do try to read the room. If the energy's and there's been like a long time between intros and dancing, like more than like an hour, and you can kind of get the guests. Sometimes they're kind of either sleepy.
Right.
Or they're like, let's go, And if there's that kind of let's go energy, then I just go, if you're not drunk, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to get drunked up. Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, and that's the other thing is like if people are a little more like sleepy, maybe not ready to dance, it's like, will the energy help wake them up then?
Sure.
Or do they need to be eased in? I don't know. It is kind of like an in the moment thing. But yeah.
And sometimes too, based on crowd type, if you're a much younger crowd, much older crowd, energy is a big factor. And if it's a lot of olders and they're just chilling and they're like, yeah, let's just ease into this. I grew up in a school where dancing was a crime. Well, okay. So maybe we'll ease you into it.
Footloose Town or?
Yeah. Footloose Town. Footloose, Indiana. But I actually think it was Kentucky in that movie. Maybe not. I don't. It's been a minute. Maybe it's down south, further south. Anyway, so you say nah. Most of the time, you would not open with a slow song.
Right.
And then, where most of the time I do open a slow song if I can, but I am ready and willing to change if it feels like the crowd wants that. Now, more and more, I do see what happened on Saturday, where we had a combination kind of mashup of, we did a slow song for like half the song, Wonderful World, Louis Armstrong, and then she wanted me to go right into Dancing Queen, where she did like a little routine with her dad and then invited everybody on the dance floor.
Nice.
And then from there, I went right into Staying Alive, disco hits.
Love
and
that.
they did Stay Alive, and the crowd hit, and everybody danced and had a good time. So yeah. What do you got this weekend coming up?
I am at Whispering Oaks, DeMont, which I haven't been there in a moment, but yeah, excited. It'll be a nice kind of shorter wedding. I think that's Eastern time possibly, but I'm done at like 10 o'clock.
You're DeMont. It's DeMont. It's Central.
Central, okay. Indiana's such a weird.
I'll be at Sandy Pines. I'll be right up the street from you.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
But
the cool street.
yeah, working with Kate. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm gonna check in out.
Dude, he just crushed it. He did a homecoming for us.
That's right. Yeah,
on Saturday, last minute. And
very last minute. Yeah.
Yeah, and Drain gave us the call, and we're like, "Hey, DJ dropped you in?" We're like, "Yeah, we're in."
He's kind of the perfect person.
Oh,
for it.
dude,
Like,
he crushed. He got tipped.
Oh,
I
really?
never get tipped at a school dance.
that's
No.
crazy.
But they tipped him. So.
Wow. He's like the perfect age for that.
Yes.
Like that's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be done with proms, homecomings. My last two experiences, I don't know. Kids are mean, man.
They're so mean.
They're so mean.
John Mulaney, they will make fun of you in a way that is accurate. They will find a thing that you don't like about you, and they will exploit
Hey, look at that
it.
high-waisted man. He got feminine hips. That's the thing I'm sensitive about.
That's how young people are, man.
It's terrible.
Whatever. You and your wife aren't really in love. What? How could you possibly? Young kids?
The last, like,
It's all a charade.
it was honestly, I think, I can't remember doing the last prom or homecoming. It was probably like 3 years ago. But I was at Duneland Falls. And do you know they kind of have like a stage area where
Yes.
they usually sit the bridal party?
Yes.
We were up there. So we're like above everything. But it's kind of like
2 steps.
two steps. So it's like stage and then there's like another stage and then it's floor. So like all these girls kept getting up on like the stage section to like just but they were like doing it as like a total like
Dancing on the bar, dancing on the stage.
and like, hey, look at me, and like refused to get, and like they were like kind of like they were pushing the equipment, and so I was like, hey, could you get down? And they're like, you can't tell me what to do.
That's right.
I'm like, I can actually.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm hot, and so I don't do what you say because I'm hot.
I can go get a teacher right now, and they're gonna like kick you out.
I was like, yeah, I understand the world's worked that way for you for a while, but not tonight.
Definitely not after high school.
I get to dance on the bar if I want to.
Just so annoying.
Yeah, it's really
But
annoying.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of have fun because they are just all hype.
Generally, they're jumping and dancing and having a good time.
It's so funny too because we've talked about this, but it's like I just remember being in school and it's like we're watching a rated R movie, You have to sign a consent form with your parent. Can you watch it in class? But we go to any school and they're like, you have to play all the censored versions of the song.
Isn't that
It's
so
like,
funny?
Okay, so I'm just playing this rap song and there's like 300 kids yelling the F word louder than my speakers. I'm like, good job. You really.
Meanwhile, at 11:30 in the morning, I'm watching Schindler's List, the grittiest, most traumatizing film I've ever seen.
That was senior year of high school.
And it was just like, whoa, you can't hear swears, but you can watch just genocide.
People get murdered.
Just horrifying things humans can do to each other. You need to watch that. You're in 8th grade.
But a word that all of you and your friends are saying.
Can't say ass or damn.
No. It's very funny. But yeah, I really hate being like constricted. And I know weddings kind of have their own thing of like, you can't play this, you can't do that. But still, I don't know. It just hits
Our
differently.
wedding party is all 5-year-olds. Yeah. So play Frozen.
Oh, I have a good question. Because there's been such a mix of this year. I don't know if we're tight on time, but
Fine.
Kids or no kids at weddings. Because I have a very back and forth thing of that where I've had times where people are like, love kids at weddings.
Sure.
It's made the dance floor fun of like, and usually kids leave the last hour and a half, 2 hours of dance floor when we kind of get into harder music anyways. They're tired, it's a late night.
Kids, they can't hang. They're not cool.
They can't hang.
They can't drink. They're not cool.
Wrong vibe.
If they can drink, that's really scary.
Yeah, that's
if they
not
can
good.
hang, that's not the wet. That's a scary wedding.
Yeah, those people are.
It's like he's a British 9-year-old gangster. He'll drink you under a table.
Just smoking a cigarette.
He has several blades on him.
Sir, you can't smoke that inside. I'm a Peaky Blinder.
He wears the hat and everything. So kids, no kids.
Kids, no kids. Because I've had weddings where people are like, kids make weddings more fun. I love my nieces and nephews. In my wedding, we had a bunch of kids. I loved it. But I've had other weddings where they're like, no, like this is a party. We want to just rage all night. We don't want kids getting in the way. Not invited. Absolutely not. Or there's a mix where it's like, well, love my niece and nephew, flower girl, ring bearer.
Sure.
Obviously they're invited, but other than that, nobody. Do you have any?
They're still like kids, but VIP kids.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, so as a DJ, I would say no kids. It's not a very fun environment for kids.
Right.
Generally, there's not a lot for them to do. They got to wear uncomfortable clothes and be hot and just, they can get stepped on, kicked, knocked down. It's just not a safe environment for kids. Now, it also is a family celebration, people coming together. And so you want your family there and to celebrate. And some kids will dance and have a great time and kind of really enjoy that. And they'll like get the dance floor started because the kid will be out there and everyone's like, yeah, go,
People let their guard down then. They're like that social awkwardness is kind of gone where you're like, oh yeah, it's a kid having fun.
Oh, he can have fun.
Yeah.
Why not me?
Exactly.
We're getting into it.
But yeah, there is kind of a thing of like, I always feel a little uncomfortable of just like kids being around heavy drinking and that like party atmosphere. But it's not like it's
not good behavior. It's not good behavior.
But it's not strangers. Like you said, it's a family celebration. It's not like, you go to any family function, that could be the case too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, to me, so it's like, that'd be my thing. I would, if I had a vote, I would be no kids. But if you're having kids, plan things for the kids to do, photo booth, coloring book, something, some activity, something to distract the kids. And then 3, understand that your guests are going to be lewd and drunk. They're going to treat the kids or act the way that they act towards us, the DJs, and they're going to ask to do karaoke 6 times and be drunk. And so be prepared. Your kids are going to be exposed to that, which is a great teaching opportunity for your kid. Hey, some people make fools of themselves sometimes when they drink too much. And so don't drink, So be prepared for that, for someone to make a fool. Because I don't think that the world, like people at a wedding should have to like censor themselves to play to the kids. I think it's like, that's not really an environment for kids. Lots of environments are playgrounds and stuff.
Right.
You're drunk at a playground, you should probably be arrested. Right. But you're drunk at a wedding, the kid is mismatched for the venue, the environment. And then that's the parents' responsibility to teach and to protect and by the way, why wouldn't you want to just have an adult night off without kids?
Right.
Just have the,
I would say,
my kids are my life.
Most people don't go to too many weddings throughout their lives. So yeah, it is kind of like I
have 3 kids and they are my life, but I definitely want to have adult night. I like separating the two.
Yeah, totally.
So, but yeah, I don't know. Birthday parties, great for kids.
Right.
Yeah, weddings, not so much. But yeah, that's my opinion. Of course, we do them all the time with kids and they tell us it's going to be a lot of kids. So clean music and
yeah. No, it's just so back and forth. Yeah, I was just curious in your opinion.
Everyone has different opinions, but that'd be mine. It's just no kids and let's party. Let's go crazy. And also no stuffy old adults either. I don't want like, they're not going to play my song. I'm not going to dance. And they're playing all this rap stuff. Like, I don't like that either. I don't want the very young, the very old. If you're going to be a problem and not contribute to the party, don't come.
I had this older man come up, and usually an artist is mentioned, and I know who they are, even if it's something like I listen to a lot of music, especially like older jazz and stuff. Like I usually can recognize it. This guy came up and was giving me like weird B-side albums
Paul
from like
Bufano.
the 20s. Yeah, it was like that. Yeah. It was just
Squiggy Boop. Yeah.
Like I was writing them down just for the recognition of it. And then I was like, I'm just going to look these up. Like nothing was like older than like the 1940s or so. Like it was really old, but he was like, this is going to get the people going.
It's part of the Colgate Hour.
Have you seen that Key and Peele skit where it's the DJ and he's like, hey, can you play some old school?
Sure. Oh, I know. Yeah, I've seen that.
And then finally it's like some album from like 1910 or something. It was just like ragtime. And it's like, everyone's like, oh yeah, like that. Really just going
I know
off
exactly
to it.
what you're talking about.
But that can be our like, play something old school, man. Like, okay.
Just like a...
But the whole time
It's
he's
like a radio ad.
Can you be specific? What do you mean exactly?
Yeah, and they never are.
Never specific.
Yeah, somebody came up on Saturday, was like, there is a acrobat contortionist here. I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, you should play a song that will get her going. And I go, what song would that be? She's like, she does like Cirque du Soleil stuff. I was like, okay, what song? I was like, I don't know. I'll go ask. And then she comes back. She says she doesn't care, but her name is this, and then play the song. She didn't give me a song, and then so I just kept playing songs. And certain enough, at some point in the night, a woman went on her hands and was walking around dancing and stuff. So I think I did it. So it was so weird.
It sounds like she didn't even really.
It's so weird when people like, it's a wedding, but let's make it about this other person doing that thing that they do all the time. You know?
Yes.
Like, it's a wedding, but so-and-so, it's their 26th birthday, and we want to sing happy birthday. And also, it's this other person's birthday, and they're silly. Just let it be about the wedding. Does it have to be silly?
And that is a question I usually ask my couples of like, any special traditions? Does this one guy do this to this song? You know, is there anything like that? Just so I'm prepared ahead of time. So then at least, if I'm confronted with, oh, I knew about the contortionist. Great. Yeah. I got the plan. I got the song ready to go. We were all prepared for this.
There is an arm wrestling champion in the crowd. And do some arm wrestling music. What? Okay. Yeah, let's make the wedding about that now. So silly. People do, but well, it's people, right? They're like, me, right? No, it's actually not about you. It's actually like these people planned a thing and paid a lot of money and invited you. And then you're like taking over, making it about you.
Do you know what would be great?
Is some more stuff that I like, me. That's what I hear every time when people come up. Not every time, because there's people who are nice and who get it, and they're like, "Hey, any way you could work in this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Oh, so and so loves this. If you could do it, it'd be fantastic.
If it's within the vibe, if it's like something of like, hey, and it's a song that could work, and someone does
they're being
nice,
they're being encouraging, and they're coming at it like it's a request, and they're trying to help the party, not make it about them. It's a different approach. And Justin Bieber, baby. This old guy did that 2 Fridays ago. I was like, okay. So it's funny when you don't really. What is he going to request? I'm like, I wasn't thinking that.
Oh, speaking of requests, though, just going back to 2 weeks ago, this Allure wedding, this punk guy I was talking about, all of his friends, any request I got, like if it was anything too out of the blue or whatever, every person was so like genuinely understanding and nice about it. And I think it's because they're all in bands, and I think they kind of get it, like playing music. And I kind of explained it, and they're like, totally understand. We understand you're doing your thing. We just wanted to see if you could throw that in there on the list.
Words
like
getting out.
Every single person.
Respectful.
Not that there was a lot of requests.
Sure.
But the ones everyone that happened, it was just like genuinely like.
There really shouldn't be a lot of requests. It should be a handful, right?
Yeah.
And or if you clearly need help, like sometimes it's tough to see what the crowd likes, and they know the crowd well, you know, that's fine. So, but yeah, it shouldn't be a lot.
Right.
But what it is. Well, I don't have too much. Should we call it? Till next time.
Sounds good.
All right. See you at your wedding.
See you on the dance floor.
Bye-bye.